And they said Sane couldn't do the raid. Today I present to you guys my Sane build that's going to have you guys laughing at every single enemy that comes your way, because this build is going to make you unkillable and a wrecking machine. SFA, this is LaserBolt and welcome to today's video, guys. Today I want to present you to my Sane unkillable build. Now, this is an update from my Sane MALIWAN build, and if you thought that was pretty powerful, this kind of blows this out of the park. Basically, let me put it to you guys this way. My other build was doing about 25 to 30k with the Maggie alone, just by a single shot. Currently, this build right now is doing 40 to 50k with the Maggie. That's just a quick flavor text to kind of get you guys excited on how potent and powerful this build is. Now, if you guys want to put this build together, I do want to share this file with you guys if you guys are on PC, so you guys don't have to go hunting for all the gear that I have. If you guys would like to get that file saved, make sure you guys do me the huge favor, drop a like, share this video with his friends, and if this video reaches 400 likes, I'll be placing up that save file on my Discord server so you guys can just easily peasily download it. So without further ado, let's jump into this build and see what part of the skill tree you're going to need in order to make this work. And so now let's take a look at the skill tree. So we're going to be doing a lot of stuff from the Undercover tree, and this build pretty much makes us unkillable if you play it right. And I'll explain how you want to play with this build once we get done with the tree and also the gear. So we're going to be dumping 5 points into adrenaline. What this is going to do, it's going to make our action skill cooldown rate up to 35%. So that means we're going to be getting our skills really quickly. In addition to that, we're also going to be dumping a total of 5 points into ready for action. What this is going to do is going to make our shield recharge rate a plus 30 and shield recharge delay a negative 29. It is very important because based on the items that we have in our gear, it's going to tie in perfectly with this. Next, of course, we wouldn't be able to have an awesome Sane build if we didn't have brain freeze. We're going to be dumping a total of 5 points here. What this is going to do is that every time Sane scores a critical hit on an enemy, there is a chance that they will be slowed, which is really good for the MALIWAN takedown, and its effect stacks until the target is frozen. So basically, you'll be slowing down the enemies and freezing them to death, and freezing is kind of actually a very important part of this build. So you want to make sure you're freezing as many enemies as you possibly can, and also keeping those enemies at bay while slowing them, or, in the meantime, slowing them down. Next up, guys, we're going to be dumping 2 points into stiff upper lip. Whenever Sane is damaged, he gains damage resistance against the damage time. For example, if you get shot with corrosive shock, whatever you get shot with, you're going to gain that damage resistance. Next, we're going to be dumping 1 point into confident competence. What this is going to do is going to give us gun damage, and it's going to increase our accuracy. So really good because our shields are going to be active the majority of the time, so that gun damage and that accuracy is almost always proccing, so it's a really good one to have. Next, of course, guys, we're going to be dumping 1 point into Best Serve Cold, which is a kill skill. So whenever we kill an enemy, we create a Cryo Nova. It is really good because it damages the enemies, and it has a possibility of actually freezing the enemy. So it's actually something that's going to help us, get that additional freeze on. Then we're going to be dumping 1 point into Futility Belt. Same gains resistance to non-elemental damage. That's the reason we're not picking up this one, because if we pick this one, it almost kind of about cancels this one. So we're picking up the Futility Belt just so we can gain that resistance to that element damage after we kill an enemy, which is really important. Last but not least, guys, of course, we're dumping a point into Calm, Cool, and Collective. Whenever Sane freezes an enemy, his shield instantly begins recharging, and this is what pretty much makes us unkillable. Because as long as we're freezing enemies, we are going to have our shield up every single time. So that means that regardless of what you do, as long as you're freezing people, your shield is going to be up. And what does that mean? It makes you unkillable because nothing penetrates the shield as long as you have it out and active. Now, if Sane's shields are already full, so we already have our shields completely full, it's going to regenerate our health for a few seconds, which makes us really tanky. Now, if Sane's health is already full, his action skill cooldown and duration are immediately reset. This is just like a beautiful build, guys, because regardless of what happens, whether your shields are down, whether your health is down, whether your health is full or bar, you're always going to be earning a benefit, and all those benefits are beautiful. And since we're already on the Undercover tree, we're going to go ahead and pick up the shield. We're going to, of course, pick up that one. We're going to go with the 360 because we want to make sure we're covered at all angles, and then we're going to go with this one right here, which is going to give us health It's going to give us health regen in our shield, which is really important, especially for the Maliwan. It's something really good. Now, another one I would recommend if you guys feel that you're not going down or you're not having any problem with health, you can run this one, which is Charge Ready, which is going to give you movement speed and reload speed. It's actually pretty potent. And if you feel you're having a little bit of a hard time and taking too much damage, then go with this one. If not, go with Charge Relay. Next up, guys, we are going to go to the Hitman tree. Now, in the Hitman tree, guys, we're going to be picking up 5 points into Violent Speed. Kill skill. After killing an enemy, same gains increased movement speed. Really important, especially when we get to the last boss, my boy WOTAN, which what I like to call him. And it's going to give us a lot of movement speed. It's going to help us move around that arena fairly quickly. And this is going to tie in perfectly with Violent Momentum. With Violent Momentum, we're going to get gun damage while we're moving fast. So this one, we're moving fast, is going to give us speed when we're killing. And as we're moving fast, we're going to be getting extra gun damage, which is just beautiful. Next up, guys, we're going to do 1 point into drone delivery. This is going to have our drone drop a grenade on the enemy. And based on the grenade we have, it's going to be tying in perfectly due to the fact that it's going to be proccing a couple of our other action skills within, with just this grenade. Then we're going to be picking up 1 point into Death Follows Close. Basically, what this is going to do is going to allow Sane's kill skills to increase the effect duration, which is important. And last but not least, guys, for the last skill tree, we're going to go to Double Agent Tree. We're going to be dumping 5 points into Synchronicity. Whenever one or more Saints actions active, he gains increased damage. Basically, on this build, this is going to be proccing almost indefinitely. It's going to be up every single time because your barrier and your sentinel will be active every single time that you're fighting, because every single time you freeze an enemy, it just resets your action skill, which makes this build extremely potent. So that plus 20 gun damage is always there, so it's never disappearing. And then, guys, we're going to be dumping 5 points into Borrowed Time. Same gains increase action skill duration for every active action skill. So since we have both the action skills active, we're going to get that plus 30 active action skill duration, which is going to increase the duration of our shield and our sentinel, which in fact is going to give us the beauty of being able to replenish those when we freeze an enemy. So it's just awesome. And last but not least, guys, we're dumping 5 points into Donnybrook. This is a kill skill. Whenever Sane kills an enemy, he and his Digiclone receive an increased gun damage and health regen. Don't forget about the Digiclone, because we're not going to be using him, but we are going to be killing people. And since we are going to be killing enemies, we're going to be getting that gun damage and that health regeneration. Now let's go ahead and activate the stuff that we need to put here. So let's go ahead and put that right there. We're also going to go with Winter's Drone. We're going to put that there, and we are going to be picking up a Bad Dose. Now, I like Bad Dose. Some people tend to like this one right here, which is the Static Field, which is really good to help you drain shields. If there's a lot of enemies with shields, this actually comes in quite handy. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys. I like Bad Dose, but if you guys feel that this one works a little bit better and it's helping you bring out the shields a lot quicker, then go with that one. I think I ran the final boss with this one, so Static Field does help you bring out those shields. This one's actually pretty good when you get all those yellow bars, which is pretty good. So you can switch between fourth, like if you want to go ahead and do the whole Maliwan raid with the Static Field, and then switch to this one whenever you're finding the yellow bars. All up to you guys, is whatever you guys feel comfortable. But I prefer Bad Dose, to be honest. That's just my personal point of view. And other than that, guys, now we know the skill tree. Let's jump into the gear and what makes this build tie in perfect. All right, so for our gear, this is what we have, guys, and I've actually been able to maximize this stuff. I mean, I'm extremely excited to share this build with you guys. It's just really awesome. I put a lot of work with this. A lot of farming went into actually getting all these weapons synchronized perfectly. Trust me, guys, that's why it took me a while to actually get a Sane build, because I didn't want to put up a Sane build that, you were going to use and you're not going to find it powerful. You're going to be struggling. With this build, the struggle will not be real. It'll be fakes. So here we go. Let's jump into it. So first, we're going to be doing the Maggie. And this has, while Sentinel is active, gain 50% of damage as bonus cryo. Basically, this is going to be active every single time, because your drone will be active every single time. So you're getting a really powerful weapon, and you're getting plus 50 damage as bonus cryo damage, which is going to be helpful because it's going to allow you to freeze the enemies. Remember, freezing the enemies is a good thing. You want to be freezing everybody. Then we're going to be doing the Cutsman. Once again, we got a Shock Cutsman with, while Sentinel is active, gain 50% bonus cryo damage. Once again, is going to be very important. And the majority of this I use this weapon is basically almost only when I fight my boy Wu-Tang. I hardly ever use the Cutsman when we are fighting, as we make our way over there. It's very rarely. I mostly use the Maggie. The Maggie is pretty much Bay. That's what I use. I'll tell you guys the setup we use once we get, to the whole how you should play with it. So the next one we have is another Cutsman, which comes with radiation damage, and this is gonna do the same thing. Sentinel is active, gain 50% damage, cryo damage, and once again, this is active indefinitely. Last but not least, guys, we got our Brainstormer. This is extremely potent, and I'm actually gonna leave a portion at the end of the video showing me going through Maliwan the raid, and you guys can see how effective. I'm just pretty much just sitting in a bubble, laughing my way through victory. That's how easy peasy it is to actually play with this build. So then we have the Brainstormer. This is going to be mostly for ad control. And one more weapon that I want to talk about is this one right, guys, the Ever Blaster. I do have the Ever Blaster with one Sentinel's active, 50% cryo damage. So if you guys, we get the same build, I will be uploading that for you guys. But this one in particular, I only use it to kill the people who are up on the turrets really fast. You guys will see the footage once you get to the end of the video. All right, so now let's talk about gears. So for gear, I have the Transformer, and this one's going to convert shock damage into shield. Really important, because if for some reason you are in a fight, the boss battle fight, and you feel that your health is going down, you want to get your shields back, all you got to do is pull out your Cutsman, shoot the ground, and your shields will automatically be restored. Super easy to get that effect going back and forth. Or you could actually just lob a Ever Blaster on the ground, and that will automatically get your shields back. So, but I just use the Cutsman. It's actually pretty easy. And that's just going to get your shields. Now, the anointment here is I have, while terrified, gain increased damage on fire rate. The more terror you have, that's a pretty good anointment, but since my action skill is active every single time, it's not proccing the terror effect the way I want it to. You could definitely go with a different anointment. I think another anointment that will work pretty good here is, I think it's while your Sentinel is active, you gain health. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I know there's a Sentinel one that I'm still farming for, trying to get. I think it's gonna tie in perfectly for this one, because it's gonna have my shield up. Or I think I might use the barrier one. While your barrier is active, you get some sort of shield. I still have to look into that, but I think that would be more beneficial. Either a barrier or a Sentinel anointment would be better on the Performer. If there's another anointment that you think might work better, let me know in the comment section down below so we can farm for it. Next up, guys, we are using the class mod called the Cheap Shot Executor. Now, this is beautiful because this makes my Maggie just really powerful. Plus 25 weapon damage, plus 45 Jacob weapon critical damage, and plus 31 pistol damage. So basically what this is doing, guys, it's giving me almost 100% more weapon damage with my Maggie. So it's really, really powerful. Now, apart from this one, if you don't get the Executor, you could always go with the Cold Warrior. The Cold Warrior is actually pretty good. The only thing I feel in regards to the Cold Warrior is that we're not getting that statics effect chance, which is what I like about the Shot Executor. But this one's actually pretty good as well. It would work very well with this build. Just that I don't have a godly roll as I do with this one. So that's where we're going with this one right now. And for our artifact, we're going with the Icebreaker Idol. And what this is going to do, it's going to increase damage to against frozen targets, which is really good. I don't like so much my flavor text. The magazine size, okay. Weapon accuracy, it's okay. Cryo efficiency, it's okay as well. Maybe cryo efficiency is actually pretty good, but either the other two are all right. But the main reason you want this one is because you want to make sure you're getting damage to those frozen enemies. It restores 18% of your max health. Now, you don't theoretically have to use this. You could go with the Victory Rush, which is killing a battlegrass triggers Victory Rush plus 18 movement speed and damage reduced for 60 seconds. This is actually pretty good. And while suffering from the elemental effect, increase your elemental damage with the same elemental. Really good. So these ones, I'm still debating which one's better. But I find that the idol works much better because you're almost always freezing enemies and it helps you kill them faster. But I'll leave this up to you guys, whichever ones you guys feel more comfortable. And last but not least, to tie this all together, guys, we have the recurring hex. On action skill and apply terror to yourself every 5 seconds. Once again, there's another terror effect. I didn't have one with a sentinel or barrier, but that's what I would probably be looking for. Or I would probably go with one of the new anointments, which is I believe you get corrosive, shock damage, you know, on action skill end. Even though our action skill is never ending, that's why I don't want to use an action skill end anointment here. I'd rather go with something that buffs me while I'm on barrier or while my sentinel is active. So that's what we have in the gear. As far as the weapons, they're godly. The class mod's godly. The transformer just needs a better anointment. The grenade needs a better anointment, and this one in particular just needs better flavor text. But other than that, this is a really godly build. So now that we checked out the gear, now let's talk about how you want to play this. So basically, throughout the beginning of the Maliwan raid or any content that you want, your primary weapon is going to be the Maggie. That's just going to be doing damage against every single enemy, whether it be red bar, blue bar, yellow bar. The red ones, you might struggle a little bit, but it's still pretty powerful. Now, once you get to people who have shields and you want to bring down those shields, you can just go ahead and use either the Brainstormer or the Ever Blaster. If there's just one enemy, Ever Blaster, lob the Ever Blaster will automatically bring the shield down, pull out your Maggie, boom, he's dead. If there are a ton of enemies, then your number one weapon is going to be the Brainstormer. You're going to have your barrier up, you're going to have your Sentinel up. The Brainstormer is going to trigger off, shoot every single enemy that's around you. And in addition to that, it's going to cause people to be frozen, which when they get frozen and they die, your sentinel or barrier automatically resets. As you guys are watching here in the gameplay, my barrier is always active. Really, really effective build. Now, once you get to the boss, which is the main WOTAN boss, your main weapons are going to be, once again, the Cutsman, Shock, and the Cutsman, Radiation. And basically, if there's a ton of enemies, Brainstormer is the way to go. If your shield goes down, pull out the Cutsman, shoot the ground, get your shields back. If your barrier and your shield, for some reason, you're not able to shoot an enemy or freeze them, then you want to do is just run around until you get your shield back and you get your sentinel back, and then you're ready back to engage the fight. You want to make sure there's enemies because the Brainstormer is just going to automatically be replenishing your shield, which, as you guys saw in the gameplay, that's what I did. If you do this perfectly, guys, you should have no trouble with the raid. And that pretty much just puts the whole build together, and that's how you want to play it. Like I said, I'm going to leave the rest of the video play out so you can see me running through this and get a better idea how you want to play with the build. In addition to that, guys, if you feel that we are missing a weapon that might be a little more powerful, let me know in the comment section down below. If there's anything on the skill tree you want to recommend, also let me know. We're always down to try new stuff. And remember, if you want to get this save file, let's get this video to 400 likes. I'll be uploading it on my server. But you guys asked for, you guys were Laser, can you please do a solo guide or solo build that will wreck the raid? Well, here it is, guys. I present to you the Unkillable Zane. Enjoy the rest of the video.